Greetings everyone! I'm very glad to see you on my YouTube channel. This is my first video, so please don't judge harshly. I believe that anyone who has ever been interested in drawing or painting has tried to create a portrait. I remember my first scribbles from childhood. Back then I had many self-portraits, but for some reason none of them resembled me. A lot of time has passed since then. What sets apart my 5-year-old self from who I am today is that back then I wasn't afraid to draw or depict people. This might sound strange, but before I start any drawing, I experience uncontrollable fear. To overcome it, I mentally go through all the drawing stages in my imagination. Every new sketch feels like the first one. And it doesn't matter how many drawings I already made, the same thing happens every time. One way to overcome this is through distraction. While I filmed these shots, I was listening to music in my headphones. Sometimes I put something in the background, like a YouTube video or an audiobook. This allows me to focus on the voice I hear, and my hands naturally draw the lines on the paper. By the way, when constructing a human face, I rarely use circles. All parts of the human face are positioned at specific distances from each other. If you pay close attention to the proportions while working, you can easily reproduce any image. In this sketch, I set myself 2 goals. Since simple drawing became boring for me, I wanted something new. The first goal is to use the hardest and softest pencil from the Van Gogh set that you've seen before. And the second is not to smudge the graphite on the paper, but to work only with hatching lines. Blending helps to achieve the desired result faster and gives the work a more realistic visual impression. The smoother the transition between gray tones, the more lively the drawing looks. There are many techniques and methods of shading. Many artists find the style that suits them best and strive to perfect it. In the past, I was following a specific technique, but now I enjoy experimenting more and developing in different directions. When I first started drawing portraits, I thought it was enough to maintain the proportions of the face and learn to draw the eyes, nose and lips well. Over time, I began to pay less attention to individual parts of the face and focus on the emotions of the person being depicted. In this regard, I still feel quite awkward. Sometimes the image in my imagination doesn't match the drawing on paper, and it's very frustrating. No matter how much effort I put into it, something is always off. The missing 1% ruins the overall impression of the work. But there are cases, very rarely, but they happen, when a masterpiece comes out from under your brush or pencil and you can't believe that you're the author of that image. I thought for a long time about the message or meaning I would like to convey to my content's viewers. Simply sharing snippets of my everyday life seems too blunt and monotonous. I would like people who are watching this video right now to believe more in themselves and their abilities, and not to despair if they can't achieve the desired result immediately. First and foremost, visual art is about diving into yourself, and you need to develop not only your technical skills, but also the ability to be alone with yourself. Maybe you were expecting something entirely different when you clicked on this video. If that's the case, please share your expectations in the comments. I'd be very curious to read them. Since I'm not yet used to creating videos longer than 1 minute, it's challenging for me to evaluate my results from an outsider's perspective. Thank you for watching until the end. I wish you inspiration and success in all your artistic projects. And I really hope to see you again on my channel sometime soon in the future.